This is it. No sign of the professor.
I hope he's here and that he doesn't mind us disturbing him. He is a senior necromancer. I don't... Oh!
Visitors! What a marvelous surprise! Any trouble with the lift? Our last guests were stuck for hours. Poor souls. Oh. Professor Emmrich Volkaren of the Morn Watch.
Hello, Professor. We've never met, well, in person, but I've been writing to you.
Belara, my dear girl, what a pleasure. Surely you didn't come all this way just to see me.
Actually, we did. You see, we need a Fade expert.
I'm Rook.
Charmed.
I like that bit with the flaming skull.
It's nothing, really. Just an evocation of the flame of the last steps.
Looks great.
Thank you. You know, I'm never quite sure how these spells strike someone from outside Navarra. I'd be pleased to continue our conversation after I tend to some small business here. I must investigate. Would you two mind accompanying me further into the shrouded halls?
Toward that screaming.
Something's gone awry in this part of the necropolis, Rook. The dead stir more easily than they should.
Something weird up ahead.
Strange. These halls should be under the protection of the bell.
Is that a despair demon?
Fascinating, isn't it? They shouldn't be able to breach the shrouded halls at all.
Take your word for it.
Careful ahead.
It's vital we discover why that spirit manifested here.
Lead the way, Professor.
Someone's barred the door and chained the sunken star.
There's undead here.
We may need to defend ourselves, depending on their condition.
Haven't fought undead in a while.
There's no reaching these. They're mindless.
What does that mean?
I'm afraid sometimes the weaker dead work themselves into frenzies. Poor things. I must free that bell.
Need some help?
Thank you. The star, the bell, can banish these despair spirits if we unchain it. We'll need a wisp to unseal the doors leading out. Could you please find one and bring it here?
Okay. How?
Give your greetings, and the wisp will follow.
Hello.
Wisps are the simplest of spirits, but quite helpful. Bring the wisp here, and we can unseal the doors.
Door's open. Where to now?
This should lead us to the upper chambers, where we can free the bell. There's someone I'd like to consult with on the way.
I hope we can help here, Professor.
You already have, Belara. And it's just Emmrich. Please.
Great, Professor.
I assume your visit has to do with recent upheavals we've sensed in the Fae?
Oh, just a little. This magic, it drains everything around it.
Echoes of the despair spirits, misery devouring itself. We should keep our distance. If provoked, these manifestations will shatter.
This is locked too. I didn't see any wisps around.
Then I shall call for aid.
Those...
Strange. This door shouldn't be here.
Shouldn't it?
The necropolis rearranges itself every so often. Well done. Past these chambers, we'll find some assistance with reaching the bell. Despair is far more pervasive than I thought. We must stop who's ever drawing these spirits here, Rook.
You think a person's behind all the despair demons?
Oh yes. Mortals are their prime attraction. We've a fight ahead.
Looks like we're doing this!
Good work!
How do we get rid of all these despair demons?
Their source is near the bell you saw earlier. Ringing it will banish them, but we must find who lured them there in the first place. Tell me, Rook, where are you from?
I grew up in Tevinter.
Our cousins in Magecraft to the north. You must tell me about your journeys once we're above ground. Ah, here we are. This is where we'll learn who summoned these despair spirits.
But how?
You must open yourself to possibilities while in the necropolis. Would you mind lighting those braziers, Rook? This should unseal our final path to the bell. It's best we unchain it quickly.
What's it do exactly?
The sunken star will drive away despair. Any malicious spirit that hears the tolling of the bell will be banished to the Fade.
Oh, that'd be helpful in Arlethan, but I bet it only works here, doesn't it?
Quite correct. The bell would be inert, outside the necropolis.
Still, I bet the principles could be replicated.
Excellent. Approach the body and we'll begin. By seal and flame, who brought despair in our midst? Despair! Who brought it here?
Venatori.
The Venatori. Of course. This way, please.
What did you just do?
The colloquial term is corpse whispering, a gift that manifested with my magic.
Wow, that's amazing.
Honestly, I've no idea how the other Watchers navigate the necropolis without it.
Shh. I think I hear someone.
This map is useless. We wasted 3 slaves in those traps. If that Hand of Glory burns down...
So don't dawdle.
We found those Venatori.
They have no place in these halls.
What are the Venatori after? Gold? Artifacts?
Raw magic. Their first envoys were obsessed with gathering power for some new masters.
I'll fill you in on them later.
Might want to leave that.
Death is weakness.
Well, down one more despair demon. That's the last of them.
I see someone by the crates.
I don't think they're Venatori. Hello. Did the Venatori bring you here?
They said I'd spilled the wine too many times. That I'd be a better sacrifice than slave.
You are in Navarra, sir. There are no slaves on our soil. Please remain here. After we've seen to the rest of the Venatori, I'll send for someone to escort you above.
Oh, all right.
Those Venatori dragged that man down here just to die.
The Watchers will shelter him. We'll inquire if he has any family in Minrathous.
I know people in Minrath.
Thank you. We'd welcome the assistance. As for the Venatori, what remains of them will be put to work. The Sunken Star can help us if we break the Venatori's chains.
Right. There's one chain.
Excellent.
Kill them all, but
Got it. That's the last chain.
We must return to the lower level to ring the bell. Be ready. The ritual to wake the bell will draw Despair's attention.
And any more Venatori?
I'll need you to keep them occupied while I work.
There's the Venatori.
Oh, is it time again? Great.
Emmrich, now what?
Now, the grand necropolis shows itself!
It worked. Those despair demons are just gone.
Pretty impressive.
Thank you, but come, let's ensure these cultists didn't leave anything dangerous behind. I'll ask our attendants to gather their bodies later, of course.
And this is a severed hand.
It can't be. The Hand of Glory? The Venatori should never have this. I must find out where it came from. Let me know when you'd like to return to the chambers above.
Let's get back to the lighthouse.
You can tell me why you've sought out a Fade expert on the way?
I know it's a lot, but I swear we've seen the blighted elven gods ourselves.
It would explain recent Oniric disruptions.
At the least, the implications of what Rook's witnessed are... Ah, thank you, Manfred.
Well, hi. And... thanks?
You spoke of danger to the Fade.
The elven gods plan to tear it wide open to get to the Blight. And they've already messed with it. Demons, tears in reality. Our team needs a Fade expert.
Many Watchers never depart Navara. But with events so dire...
I'd be delighted to assist.
It has been many years since you left us.
Well, yes, but elven gods, ancient magics. I couldn't bear miss this. Besides, I've spent my life exploring the Fade and speaking to spirits. If Rook needs an expert, none are better qualified than I.
You're good in a fight. We went through a lot of demons.
I've faced worse in the necropolis.
Welcome aboard.
Wonderful! I'll gather my things. Come, Manfred.
The Grand Necropolis was at peace again, and Emmrich was off to a new adventure. But in Navara, nothing stays down for long. The Venatori had unearthed something no one should have, and delivered it to the worst possible person. Emmrich's journey would soon bring him face to face with the gloaming lantern.
What the Venatori ultimately intended with their incursions into the necropolis worries me. Whether or not it was directed by the gods, the timing serves them well. Chaos, I fear, is their ally.
With this, Demeter's Crossing and the Blighted Dragons, and everything else we're all dealing with, feels like we're at war. A lot of little wars.
Didn't take the gods long to attract support from all the worst people in Thedas.
They're offering power to anyone who wants it. The Venatori and Antam won't question what it will cost.
So how do we fight back then?
We don't have an army, but we do have allies. Like the Veil Jumpers.
After Demeter's Crossing, it's personal for them.
The Crows, particularly after we helped save their city.
Thea and Viago know what is owed. They will make good on that debt.
Also, Lady Morrigan requested a meeting at the Cobbled Swan in Minrathous.
Could she have found some trace of the gods?
Probably. Morrigan doesn't visit crowded taverns for fun.
I also heard from Grey Wardens out in the Hossberg wetlands, Antoine and Evka. Something strange is happening with the Blight there. I bet it involves the gods.
The first warden didn't seem impressed the last time we met.
I heard he told you to piss up a rope.
Will he be in the wetlands?
I don't keep track, but he can't stop you from asking a few questions, if we're fast enough.
Gillenane has laid low since we hurt her dragon, but the Blight spreads rot wherever the gods go.
And no one's better at tracking Blight than Wardens.
Morrigan and those Wardens feel like our best leads on finding the gods.
Are they really gods? Or just ancient mages? It's not clear.
They're gods. Or the closest damn thing to them.
Nev, you're back.
Yeah, I am.
Good to have you back. This is Professor Emmrich Volkarin, our Fade expert, and Tash, our dragon hunter. They joined while you were away.
Hey.
Charmed.
Right. Not everyone has met.
So you're a dragon hunter? Mirathus could have used you.
What's going on?
Back home, what isn't? Look, you made an impossible call without enough information. I get it. It's the corner the gods put us in. It just might take time to shake off.
You are back though, right?
Yeah, Belle. I'm back.
Good to have you back. Whatever the circumstances. Everyone needs to be part of this. That's the only way we'll win.
After what happened to Mirathus, I've got even more reason to go after the gods. If anyone's got a shot at this, it's the people here. I'm still on the job. Count on it.
Great. Let's follow up on some leads.
I'll let Lady Morrigan know we're ready to meet.
I'll send word to Antoine and Evka. They're holed up in a town called Lavendel.
Everyone else should rest up. Be ready to move when I call.
Never easy, is it, kid?
What do you mean?
Making the big choices, then living with the consequences.
I don't think it ever should be easy. As soon as it gets easy, you're not the right person to make those decisions. It needs to be hard. That's how you know you're taking it seriously.
And that's why I recruited you, Rook. You get that. Not everyone does. Anyway, you've got a meeting with Morrigan to attend, and dealing with whatever the Warden's found. All this chatting is taking it out of me. Think I'll rest for a bit. Good work, Rook. You'll find your way through this. I know it.
Did I see you writing a message to the Inquisition? What's that about?
You know Varric and I were part of the Inquisition, right? I'm trying to get news about the South. But Charter hasn't replied to any of my messages. I'm trying not to worry about what's happening there, but... No, it's probably fine. Charter's just busy. She's always busy.
Charter. Who's that?
She's the Inquisition's spy master. Well, no. I guess now that the Inquisition answers to the Chantry, that makes her Divine Victoria's spy master.
Why isn't she here? We could use a hand.
Charter entrusted the search for Solus to Varric, to us. The world's large, and she's got many things to deal with.
So how long were you with the Inquisition? 10 years?
Something like that. Why?
You must know the Inquisitor.
Well, yeah, we worked together. I wasn't part of the Inquisitor's inner circle, though. I spent more time with the ordinary people, the ones you didn't hear about.
So, tell me about these ordinary Inquisition members I haven't heard about.
The Inquisition hired hundreds, and most of them weren't Magisters or Ben Hasrith or the left hand of the Divine. There were scouts and stable hands, carpenters and cooks and quartermasters, even 2 dedicated pastry chefs. Most of them volunteered, like me. We wanted to help in whatever small way we could.
You help people. That's not small.
It sure felt like it sometimes. I'd sit with Rector and Faulkner and we'd watch the important people with their important business rushing by.
Rector? Faulkner?
Liliana gave all her agents pseudonyms.
Right, like Charter.
Well, Charter's Charter, but when the other 2 and I were together, we were just Lace, Wilbur, and Katya.
And the Inquisitor's advisors, what about them?
Of all of them, I'd say Josephine is my favorite. She's lovely. She still sends me a box of handmade sweets from Val Royeaux every year on my name day. Cullen and I got along too, but he was always busy. He would have bad days from lyrium withdrawal sometimes, and I would share the tea that my ma sent. He's from Ferelden too. Maybe it reminded him of home.
What about Liliana? I heard she's intense.
I think she likes to cultivate that reputation. She's not nearly as terrifying as she sounds. Oh, I passed her in the Great Hall one day, and she suddenly turned and asked me if I wanted a nug.
A nug? Those small pink rodent things? What for?
She loved them and made a hobby of breeding them as pets.
So, did you take the nug?
No! What am I gonna do with a nug?
Do you miss it? The Inquisition, I mean.
It's hard to miss an organization. They're only as good as their people, don't you think? But I do miss my friends. We write each other, but it's not the same. And the Inquisition is different from what we've built here. Not better or worse, just different. It's special when you're among people working toward the same goal.
Not everyone. There was Solus. What did you really think of him back then?
Lonely. He always seemed lonely. It's hard not to be when you hold yourself above everyone else.
As smart as he's supposed to be, there's just some things he doesn't get. At all.
Yeah. Maybe one day he will. Maybe. If you help him. Anyway, I'm sure something out there's on fire, and here I am rambling about the past. I should let you go. Talk later?
What? You're hungry? I found a yam in the kitchen. Stubborn just means you'll starve.
Trouble settling in?
Doing the best I can. My job was to keep the Griffins safe, not fix their dinner.
I meant to son.
Oh. I guess we're both adjusting.
What's the history between Grey Wardens and Griffins?
Back in the day, Grey Wardens raised them as aerial cavalry. When a blight got going, Wardens rode them into battle. Eventually, war took its toll. They died out.
Well, a confused Griffin should fit right in around here.
Appreciate it. There's no training manual for them anymore.
I guess we'll figure it out together.
Griffins don't trust easily. Lancet and Remy had to work to win them over. They said a Warden and a Griffin have to move as one. Think as one. They call it Turlum. Sort of unity. But now, they're both dead.
Why'd the Gloomhowler attack the Eyrie?
I intend to find out. First it stalks Wardens. Now it's after the Griffins.
Doesn't seem right that they go extinct twice.
Not if I have anything to say about it. You sure you'll have time to help? You've got a lot on your plate. Elgernon and Gillenane. Hard to believe.
Can't be easy hearing that your own gods are ending the world.
Elves have enough trouble. Don't need this on our heads too. But I have to say, killing a monster is one thing. Taking down the goddess of all monsters and the god of vengeance while you're at it?
Every life in Thedas depends on it.
Fair enough. Always good to know where the boss stands.
Pretty much at the world not ending.
I can get behind that. What? I told you. It's yams or nothing.
Or maybe you need a new menu.
There's an interesting letter there, Rook.
A journal? About seeing Venatori and Crow meeting spots.
Really?
Let's dig around some more. Back on the ground soon.
What's it like when you use your magic?
Oh, it's like I'm touching something vast and eternal. A well deep inside.
Ah, not so much like possession.
No, but it was terrifying the first time it happened.
Come on, Ilario will meet us at Cafe Pietra. It's not that far from here. We have time before he arrives. I wouldn't mind looking around a while. The markets are running. Good. I need to get some things while we're here. Let's try here.
Monster bones? Really?
For Hassan. Think of it as a bribe to stop him from chewing on the alluvian. Treviso. Barely had time to look around when we returned from the ossuary. And then there was the dragon.
You miss just being here? Without the chaos?
I used to think it would never change. Ah, here.
A potted plant?
For Harding's garden. Spearmint is supposed to calm bad dreams. It's good in desserts, too.
So you and Ilario are cousins?
Yes, but we're more like brothers. Katarina took us both in, a long time ago now. Here's the place. Velara mentioned the dayless seafood recipe she wants to make.
The Demon of Virantium is grocery shopping for the team.
Have you seen what they eat? It's a miracle you didn't all starve before you hired me.
When we met, it didn't seem like Ilario and Katarina were close.
It was hard to be close to her, even for me. And I was her favorite. Let's try here.
Antivan wine glasses. Very fancy.
For Emmrich. He keeps side-eyeing the drinkware and shaking his head when he thinks no one is looking. I once spent 4 hours in the market while Ilario searched for the perfect pair of silk gloves.
4 hours?
Ilario has always been fussy. And he wanted to impress a woman. A good select. Fresh fruit. Nev only eats fried fish. You'd think a detective would have discovered scurvy by now.
I notice you have expensive taste.
I lived a very comfortable life before.
But you did your own shopping?
I suppose not always. Ah, perfect.
Ground peppers?
Tash said something about wanting more exciting meals. I thought I'd oblige.
Is that everything on the list?
Yes, and Ilario should be here by now. Let's go before he gets himself in trouble. Cafe Pietra is just ahead.
That's where we're meeting your cousin. Why not the casino?
House Cantori has many talents. Making coffee is not one of them.
You can't buy something for everyone but yourself. Here, this is for you.
A wyvern tooth dagger? I loved wyverns as a boy. Katarina would never let me have one of these, though. Finally. I thought you might leave me here all by my lonesome.
Please. You think I'd ever pass up Cafe Pietra's coffee?
You see, Rook, my cousin is all stomach and no heart.
Don't mind him. Ilario cannot appreciate anything but himself. They serve a specialty roast here, Andoral's breath. Bitter and sweet, like a kiss goodbye. You should try it.
You just described my dream cup of coffee. Nobody's listening. Should we get to business?
There's still the one at table 3.
She just left to follow the waitress.
So, you have something?
The crows I sent after Sarah have picked up her trail. They say she's gone to Varantium.
I have a friend who's very good at finding people.
Katerina was first Talon. This is crow business. We can handle it.
Apparently not. Your lead is no good, cousin.
You have better information?
We're compromised. There's no other way Zara could even touch Katerina. You need your eyes here, in Antiva.
Zara would never be foolish enough to stay. Not with you out for blood.
Of course she would. If the crows protecting her are here.
Rook, reason with him, would you? He's being paranoid.
I am not paranoid. She came after me. She came after Katerina. She will come for you too.
If it'll make you feel better, I'll clean house, all right? Leave it to me.
He's gone.
Of course he is. Ilario always caves under pressure.
Zara's not going to get Ilario, and she's not getting away with anything she's done. I promise.
Don't promise. But thank you.
So, are you glad to be back in Antiva?
It doesn't feel real yet. And it wasn't this fool of Anton when I left.
I can imagine it's a shock.
They say taste and smell awaken our strongest memories. For so long, memories were all I had. But whatever the circumstances, the here and now is a much finer place to be. How's your coffee?
Strong enough to take down a god. Ready to head back to the lighthouse?
Almost. What's it like when you...
Rook, welcome to the Hossberg wetlands. I'd say make yourself comfortable.
This place is...
foreboding?
Yes. Well, foreboding is normal here. But it's worse than usual.
The Blight's always a problem in the Anderfels. It's not strange to find a corrupted patch of forest or swamp.
What is strange is the sudden surge of blight through the Hossberg wetlands. Much like the village you found, the blight here struck too quickly, and in strange forms.
It's choked the whole area, and the local village, Lavendel, was caught in it. But they're survivors. We can be grateful for that.
If there was a place that needed wardens...
Then here we are.
as far as we can tell, the gods you're chasing weren't here directly.
If the Blight's really changed, then the changes are widespread. As for how much?
I can almost sense something in there. Another sound under the Blight's usual song.
Stories say Warden sensed Blight. I never thought it was literal.
It happens when you join the Order. But that's more than I should say.
When we met, you tried to block the sound out. Now you hear too much.
If it helps, that's what we're here for.
Should I be worried?
About me? No. About the Blight? Yes. But you already are.
We heard rumors of the surge here and volunteered to investigate. The first Warden expects a report. Soon.
If we want proof the Blight's changed, then this place is where to find it.
But the way the Blight left the village, we've had our hands full just keeping it back and helping the sick.
You need more to study.
Yes. The odd growths the Blight has formed, like boils, they surround Lavendel. I need more samples.
Samples. That's gonna be gross. That's probably the best word for it.
I'll give you something to contain the Blight. And watch for Darkspawn out there.
Right. Darkspawn. Can't forget them.
Good luck.
All right, let's find those boil samples. Looks like there's caves on the far side of the village.
You've been to the farmlands? There's a family, Voss. I'm close with them, with Ursa. They spoke of the Blight. The Blight, before all of this happened. They knew. But if they knew, why aren't they here?
If I find anything, I'll let you know.
Lavendel Village. This can't turn out like Demetta's Crossing.
But there are survivors.
Got a sample. Guessing they'll need more than one.
I've seen how Antoine performs experiments. He'll need more than one.
Got the sample.
Mierda. What's it like when you use your magic?
Oh, it's like I'm touching something vast.
Darkspawn. Everyone ready? Another champion. Let's deal with it. Everyone all right?
They die like anything else. What were we talking about? What's it like when you use your mind?
Clearing the way one champion at a time. Better get this where it's needed.
We have control.
This was farmland.
Like where my ma lives.
Check out the ballista. Could be useful.
Look, are you looking for an excuse to fire that thing?
Light and Darkspawn are connected. Did it sense us going after the boils?
We need to stop it. It's down.
Still alive? Still alive.
Antoine? Antoine!
Yes? Yes, the blight samples. They're like nothing we've seen, or anything in the Warden records. And I almost hear voices in it. The gods calling the blight.
I can't hear anything. But if you believe me...
We knew things were bad. But if the Blight's being called, the situation's more unpredictable than we thought. We need to...
I give you two reign, and this is where it leads. Chasing Rook's lies.
First Warden...
Stay away from the Blight and the Wardens. How many times must you be told?
Until you listen, I'll be here.
Not helping. Rook knew something was wrong.
I can hear it in the samples. The gods. He's telling the truth. The blight has changed, and that changes everything.
It changes nothing. Your sensitivity to Blight is useful, Warden Antoine. But you've had more than one snake in your ear.
He's trying to help.
Enough! You tampered with a ritual that unleashed Blight. You did not know what you were doing then, and you don't now.
If gods control the Blight, we need to change how we approach it.
Archdemons control Blight, and we'd sense if one had risen. We'd make the sacrifices needed to fight it.
But we...
The Blight has increased. Now is not the time to lose focus. Wardens Evka and Antoine, are you sworn to combat the Blight?
Yes, but...
Then report back to Weishaupt and do so.
That went poorly, even for a talk with him.
It's my fault you're in trouble.
He's never really liked us.
So much for convincing the Wardens.
We can't give you the order, but you have us.
We'll keep tracking the Darkspawn and the Blight. We'll do what we can.
And if we learn the gods' plans, you will too.
The elven god of monsters had been hard at work. She'd taken the Darkspawn and made them so much worse. Now, she and Elgar'nan had their glorious new army. The risen gods were ready. And they had just the target.